here. Alright. Here we go. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night Raw. I am Tony Schiavone, here with Trini Kwan and with Corey Graves. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night Raw, we gonna see Jesus, the Son of God, the King of Kings, the Kaiser of Kaisers, the Lord of Lords, the Earl of Earls. You know, the healer and the freer. Hi, I am Jesus, Son of God, King of Kings, Kaiser of Kaisers, Lord of Lords, Earl of Earls. You could say also four-setter of four-setters, highest leaders of highest leaders, first fanes of first fanes. The healer and the freer and the Son of God, the Kingling of rest. And you know, I have come down here from heaven to let everyone know that the oath that God made, God kept. 2,000 years ago, God made an oath to all mankind and womankind going back to the early BLs. That he would send someone to take away sin, to clean away sin, to make it right. That gift was me, Jesus, and I was born as a gift to all mankind and all womankind by God. Since God so loved mankind and womankind so much, he was willing to have a son who healed the handicapped and the ill, who taught folks how to be kinder and loving, and a son who yielded up his own life and worth, yielded up his own life to take on the beatings and the death. And through the beatings and through the death, I overtook sin, I overtook death, and God and I took on your sins and cleaned your sins away. So now only did you get love and forgiveness, which you always had from God, and an afterlife, but you got a stead in heaven, through God, through me. And some folks may ask and say, Jesus, is it true that only folks who believe in you and worship you and love you and onlook you get a stead in heaven? No. All mankind and all womankind have their stead in heaven. If they believe in me or do not believe in me, if they worship me or do not worship me. Everyone has that love and forgiveness. Everyone has that stead in heaven. And everyone had their sins taken on and cleaned away. So even if you do not believe in me, or worship me, or love me, I still died for you. I still died for your sins, and I still took your sins on and cleaned your sins away. God loved you so much, and so did I. So at the end of the day, the answer is yes. And I'm a bully, I'm a creep, and I'm a heel, but I am the beaten. Is that right, huh? Well, tell me this, Jesus. How can someone like you, how can you? I don't believe in God. I don't believe in you, Jesus. Yes, I know that there are others from other worships, and I know those who are unworshipable at all. But even if you don't believe in God and don't believe in me, I still died for you. I still took on your sins and still cleaned them away. You still got a stead in heaven. If you choose to believe that or do not believe in that, that's your own business. And you know what, Jesus? The truth is that folks only took your birthday and steaded it for Yule, which was a North holiday or holy day. And then the Romish folk, they used to do a holiday for Saturn or whatever, offshooted your birthday into that. So the truth is, Jesus, your birthday is just stead holded in for all the other holidays that would go on around winter time. If that is true, then God bless them for doing so. Because I am happy that folks are happy for my birthday. For God giving them as to a gift. For those who believe in me and love me and worship me, that is good. For those who do not believe in me, do not love me or worship me or onlook me, that is good too, because I've also died for your sins and took on your sins and cleaned your sins away. So you got that stead in heaven. You got that gift through God, through me. If you choose to believe or choose not to believe, that is your own business. Philip Brooks, CM Punk. You have free will. Well, let me tell you something, Calistro says. You know, I used to be evil. I used to be a sinner and an outlaw. I spent my whole life seeking to get even on Xena for slaying my bearers. And then I went to hell the first time, but it wasn't good enough for me. Then I went to hell for the 2/4 time, the true hell, not the other hell. And God and Jesus forgave me, took on my sins, cleaned them away, and I got a stead in heaven. So I could tell you how good that is to have your stead in heaven. To have God and Jesus love you so much, they're willing to take on your sins, willing to clean your sins away, willing to give you that stead in heaven. If you choose to believe it or choose not to believe it, that's your own choosing. But you will not come out here in shame or guilt or slight or scathe the Son of God, the King of Kings, the Kaiser, the Lord of Lords, the Earl of Earls, the healer and the freer. I think I will, Calistro. Calistro, you must stop this anger. Anger and wrath is not good. It is true that all mankind and all womankind are sinners. Some of them choose to be outlaws too. But just recall, there is no sin, no sinner or outlaw that I have never forgiven or never loved, because God and I love all mankind and womankind. We love everyone. No need if they were a sinner or an outlaw. Everyone got their sins taken away and cleaned away. And Calistro, you know that wrestling and fighting is never the answer. It is true wrestling and fighting is not a sinful deed, but it is not a kind deed either. I forgive you, CM Punk. I forgive you for being a creep and a bully and a heel to others. And I forgive you too, Calistro, for what you are about to do in this wrestling match or this wrestling fight. God bless all of you. Well, Tony Schiavone says it is true that CM Punk is a non-believer, and I'm not saying that he is from another kind of worship, because he is unworshipable at all. He does not believe in God and Jesus. He doesn't follow any worship whatsoever. Yes, Tony Schiavone says, but that doesn't make him bad now, does it? No, I guess it does not, Trini Kwan said. Everyone has free will to follow a worship or not to worship. That is their own business. But being a bully and a heel and a creep, it's not a good thing. Hey, Corey Graves says, but wait a minute, isn't being a bully, being a heel, being a creep free will? And did not God and Jesus give us free will to choose to do good, to choose to do wrong? So if CM Punk chooses to be a bully and a creep and a heel, that is his own business and has his own right. It's not sinful or unlawful or evil or wicked to be a bully, creep, or heel, Corey Graves says. No, I guess it's not, Tony Schiavone said, but it still doesn't make it right for someone to be a bully and a creep and a heel and then behave as if they're the beaten when they spent time bullying, being a bully and a creep and a heel to others, Tony Schiavone says. Oh yeah, Trini Kwan said, I guess you never heard of Ebenezer Scrooge and how he behaved. You never heard about Grinch and how he behaved, Trini Kwan says. Oh, I heard all about Ebenezer Scrooge and Grinch and all that stuff, Corey Graves says. CM Punk ain't as bad, is not as bad as those two fellows were. CM Punk running. Oh! And Kalisto just hit him with his sword. Now that is wrong. That should be sinful, unlawful, wicked, evil. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Kalisto. And Kalisto, or Calistro, however you say that Greek or Hellenish borrowed name, beat CM Punk here today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night Raw, Tony Schiavone said. Yes, she did, Trini Kwan said. Hit him right between the eyes with her sword. And some folks will say that that was unlawful or sinful or wicked or evil. But I wouldn't say any of it is. Trini Kwan says. Hey, Corey Graves says, so you're saying it's, oh, I won't say it's sinful or wicked or evil, but it is unlawful to do it because it wasn't a hard-made wrestling match. You know? And I think Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Astronema need to look in to what some of these wrestlers are doing with swords and knives and blades and other weapons and other tools. Corey Gray said, it's so sickening, Tony Schiavone and Trini Kwan, that you back this up. Well, I'm not backing her up, Trini. I'm not backing her up, Tony Schiavone said. I'm only telling you what she did. That's right, Trini Kwan said. We're not backing her up. We're just saying what she did. Renee Young here with Kalisto. Kalisto, we know you're a former two-time TWF, a two-time World Heavyweight fighter, a two-time TWF Tag Team fighter with Mankind, and we do know that your goal is to one day win one of those winnings back. What made you come out here and stand up for Jesus in lead of CM Punk? Since CM Punk is a bully and a creep and a heel, alright? You know, CM Punk likes to talk about how everyone is mean to him and how everyone picks on him and everyone bullies him. But he likes to leave out how he is also a bully, a troll, a heel, and a creep to others. How he likes to do this shit, but he's the beaten. You always heard that every skilled wrestling business and every skilled fighting business he went into, oh, everyone's against him. Oh, they're all bullies, heels, and creeps. Oh, he's the beaten. You need to get over yourself, CM Punk, and stop behaving as if you're the main self. You're not. See, that was your hang-up in all those years in every skilled wrestling business you have been in, and every skilled fighting business you have been in, and show playing too. You see yourself as the main self, and if the show isn't booked or written around you, then oh God, we got a bull, right? See, bullshit about that. Well, I do know one thing, Kalisto. We all know about how you once was a sinner and you once were an outlaw, but through God and through Jesus, you got your sins cleaned away, and you got that love and forgiveness in that stead in heaven. That's right, Renee Young. I did get my stead in heaven. It is true that I was an outlaw. I was a sinner. It is true that through God and through Jesus, I got my sins taken down and cleaned away. And I do got my stead in heaven. You know? And some folks might scathe me and say that I was wrong for scathing CM Punk. Yeah, I used to behave like he used to behave. But let me tell you something. You don't see me coming out and behaving like a bully and a heel and a creep to others. See, CM Punk, he has his forgivenesses. Just like Ebenezer Scrooge had his forgivenesses. Just like the Grinch, or whatever his first name was, he had his forgivenesses. One didn't know how to care. The other one had something bad happen to him when he was younger and made him choose to be a creep and a bully and a heel to others. But at the end of the day, Ebenezer Scrooge and Grinch both learned to care. They both learned how to be loving and kind. Now, with folks like CM Punk, I don't think they ever learn anything. See, I think if God sent free ghosties to show CM Punk his past, his now, and his upcoming, like some non-believers that don't believe in God and Jesus and don't believe in any kind of worship at all, we just say, oh, it's a nightmare. There's no way that God could have sent free ghosts to show me my past and my now, my upcoming. So, yeah. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to CM Punk. But I'm saying if someone wants to be a bully and a creep in the heel, then shame on them. You hear me, CM Punk? Stop playing the beaten. You know, you like to go around and be a bully and a creep and a heel to others, then you behave as if you're the bully, if they're bullying you and you like to be a bully and a creep and a heel to others, then you shift around and say, oh no, I'm not a bully, I'm not a heel, I'm not a creep, it's all on them, it's all one-sided. Well, it's my talk with Calistro. Back to you, Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Calistro here today on Monday Night Raw or Alone Tonight Raw. And that's all the time we got here for Monday Night Raw or Alone Tonight Raw. I am Tony Schiavone for Trini Kwan and Corey Graves. We hope you like Monday Night Raw or Alone Tonight Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.